enough. You know what? Originally, the list of Jericho was all about Mick Foley, but now, guess what? I'm starting a new list. It's a list of stupid idiots, and all of you are on it. You. And especially you.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to my deck build for my DRACO Ignites or Magic Spectre DRACO Knights deck that I used in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Online Ranked episode number 106. This deck combines the Ignite engine, which I've been experimenting with two other really good pendulum engines, the Magic Spectre engine, a mini Magic Spectre engine, and a DRACO Slayer engine, which both work really well together with the Ignites. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what the Ignites do. If you aren't too aware, feel free to go read up about them a bit more, but they all have the effect that if you have an Ignite card in your Pendulum Zone, you can destroy both cards in your Pendulum Zone, and if you do, add one Fire Warrior type monster from your deck to your graveyard, or graveyard to your hand. It is a really good solid engine which adds monsters to your extra deck very quickly, allows you to search out scales, and then lets you go, or sets you up for plays to go into a Pendulum Summon. Now, the ones which I will say I'm using for this deck are level 3 monsters, the level 4s, and the level 6s, and that is because they synergize with the other engines in this deck. Level 3 synergize with the Magic Spectre monster Bambuku, the level 4 synergize with the Master Pendulum DRACO Slayer monsters, and the DRACO Overlord one, and then we've got the level 6 that synergize with Kirin, who we'll talk about in a little bit more on what they do in a second. First, we'll talk about the Magic Spectre engine. We have 3 copies of Magic Spectre Raccoon Bambuku. This card works as follows. When it is normal or special summon, you can add one Magic Spectre monster from your deck to your hand. Really good card, can only be used once per turn, and it shares the common effect of Magic Spectre monsters, which means they cannot be destroyed or targeted by your opponent's card effects, making them actually very reliable to use. The monster you will typically search out with this is Magic Spectre Unicorn Kirin, who is one of the best pendulum monsters in the game right now because of his effect. During either player's turn, you can target one pendulum monster in your monster zone and one monster your opponent controls, return them to your hands. You can only use this effect once per turn, cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. It's a great disruption tool. It's really hard to get rid of because you can't target this card, you can't destroy it quite quickly, and because it's a quick effect, you can respond to pretty much anything and bounce your opponent's monster off their field, disrupting their plays and hopefully long enough for them to shut down them for the turn. Really solid monster, and in Legacy of the Duelist you can still run 3 copies of this, so watch out for it. It's a really good monster. Now for the DRACO Slayer engine, we have 3 copies of Master Pendulum, the DRACO Slayer, 3 copies of Vector Pendulum, the DRACO Overlord, and 1 copy of Luster Pendulum, the DRACO Slayer. We'll do more of this, but it is limited to 1. These 3 cards are only really here because of DRACO Face Off. They fulfill the role of DRACO Face Off, which is reveal 1 DRACO Slayer Pendulum monster and 1 DRACO Overlord Pendulum monster from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one of them for you to place in your Pendulum Zone or Special Summon, and you add the other card to your extra deck face up. You can only activate 1 DRACO Face Off per turn. It gives you a +1. It's a really quick way to search out these cards and add them to your hand, and you do need these cards in order to make other plays in order for your extra deck monsters, but we'll talk about what they do later on. The effects of these cards are as follows. Their pendulum effects are as follows. Once while this card is in your Pendulum Zone, you can target 1 card in your Pendulum Zone to destroy it. This is nice because if you end up having to use this card on your scale, you never want to really put the Magic Spectres or the DRACO Slayers into your scales. You really just want them to go to the field. But if you have to, say you have not got enough Ignites to go around and you have to use this card, it can destroy itself later on in order to clear space for another Ignite card, so that's quite nice. DRACO Overlord does not share that same benefit, unfortunately, but what it can do is it does negate all card effects in your opponent's Pendulum Zones. So if you are playing against some kind of mirror match and you can get this card out, not a mirror match, but necessarily, but against another pendulum deck. This can counter other pendulum cards, so it's nice to have. And we have the Lone Luster Pendulum because he is a tuner monster. You need this card to go into Ignister, who's a really good synchro monster, and he has nice effects too. His monster effect says that he cannot be used for fusion, synchro, XE monsters except for Draco Slayer monsters, so he can't be used generically. But his pendulum effect is that once per turn, if you have a card in your other pendulum zone, you can destroy that card, and if you do, add one card from your deck to your hand with the same name. Good searching tool. You really don't want to use this because it might be hard to get this out the scale, but you know, it's a nice searching tool, so if you have to go for that option, then there you go. For the rest of the deck, we've got one more monster to talk about, Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit special summons 2 level 4 level normal monsters with the same name from your deck. You have so many options for this. You have the level 3s, the level 4s, the Draco Slayers, the Draco Overlords, and I think on total you have 18 targets in order to use for Rescue Rabbit. So if you get this early on, it's really helpful. It's just really nice to do, and you can go into a rank play quite quickly with Rescue Rabbit. You'd be foolish not to run that card in this deck here. Then we have other spell cards and traps. We have Instant Fusion for Northern, Painful Decision, which works great in this deck because you have so many targets for it, Rotor to search at your warriors, Summoner's Art to search at the higher level Ignite scales, and then we have Vanity's Emptiness because if you set up your board, set down VE, and then flip over VE, you pretty much win the game, if you're lucky. So onto the extra deck here. One side thing, you can run the level 5 monsters. They do work just fine here. If you prefer the rank 5 monsters, you I didn't want to know what we don't have that there. If you prefer the rank 5 monsters, feel free to go for it, but I prefer the synergy of being able to combine with these cards, so I'm only running the 3, the 4 and the 6s, so we'll get rid of these out of the extra deck here. For the extra deck monsters, a lot of these you've seen before, but I will just go over a few. We've got Northern, I'll go over the generic ones. 1 Northern for rank 3s. I'll go in order actually. We've got 1 Northern for Instant Fusion, and then we've got 2 Duelist to power the Mighty Draco Slayer, a really good fusion monster. Contact Fusion 2. What I like about this most is it adds versatility to this deck. If you have a Draco Slayer on the field and any other pendulum, you can use it, which gives you a little bit of alleviation from the pressure of having 2 monsters of the same level in order to go to a rank 4 play. By doing that as a contact fusion, it's actually really helpful, and it's actually a very strong card. What this card does is it protects monsters in your monster cards that are pendulum monsters and cards in your pendulum zones from being destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. And also, once per turn, you can special summon 1 Draco Slayer pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard, but it cannot be used as a fusion material. So if you have these in your hand or your graveyard for some reason, then you can just bring 1 back once per turn. Really fun card, really easy to do, and good stats too. Ignister is our 1 synchro monster in this deck. Similar effect where that if we go to the bottom, you can special summon 1 Draco Slayer monster from your deck in defense position, but it cannot be used as a synchro material, but you can use it for, say, a fusion summon. And its main effect is as follows: once per turn, you can target 1 pendulum monster on the field or 1 card in your pendulum zone and destroy it, and if you do, shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck. What's crazy about this is it doesn't force you to target your own monsters. You can even target your opponent's monsters. You can perhaps get rid of 2 of their cards if they have pendulum cards on the field. But yeah, it's a really great effect. And the last part of it, where you shuffle 1 card on the field into the deck, does not target, so it makes it as an amazing removal card and worth running your 1 tuner monster to get into. Now for the rank box, we have 3 rank 3 monsters. We have Lion Emperor, who allows us to recycle fire monsters from our graveyard. We have Engineer, who protects monsters from being destroyed on the field. We have Phantom Knight Breaksword, which destroys cards on the field on both your side and the opponent's side. Works well in a pendulum deck. For the rank 4s, we have Dweller, Castell, Daigusto, Diamond Dyer, and Magister Paladin, the last extra deck Draco Slayer monster. And then we have Hazy Flame Basiltrix for rank 6, Utopia Beyond for rank 6, and Photon Strike Bouncer. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Hopefully you like this build. If you have any comments or feedback, feel free to share those with me. I'm always listening to my comments and I love receiving feedback from people. If you ever want to play, hit me up on PSN, the Arnold's Play. And thank you as always for being kind enough to watch my videos. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope to see you soon. Take care.